Hi, everyone. How's it going? It's your girl, Marie David, and I would like to welcome you all to the Women in Media 5th Conference and Awards. Today, I have an amazing guest with me today. She is the founder of Social Cal LLC, a branding and strategic marketing agency. So give it up, y'all, for Callie Combs.
Hey everyone. How are you? Happy to be here.
Hey, Callie, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me. I'm super excited.
I'm excited. I'm excited. Let's chat.
How are you feeling?
I'm doing very well. Doing very well. Staying busy.
Yes.
Uh, but doing very well.
Absolutely. I'm asking everyone I've been interviewing so far. The theme is pivot. So I want to know, how have you been handling some of the challenges due to the pandemic and having to transition either from work to now working from home or whatever the case may be? How has that impacted you?
Yeah, so fortunately, I have office to myself. So even my office downtown, it's just me in my little bubble. So that helped the COVID situation. However, I still stayed home. As far as how it affected my business, I
Yeah.
really had to pivot a lot. Most of the things I do are online. However, it really just forced the timeline up that I had on a lot of personal goals. So that timeline got pushed forward, and I was able to start some other things. One of them being my social media academy, which I teach entrepreneurs and small business owners how to grow strategically.
Yes.
And I was able to push that up, and that wasn't going to come out till I think later this year, and that bumped up to April.
Yes. With this new transition, what have what have you learned so far? Because I know for me, I've learned to kind of prioritize self-care and self-love and putting myself first so that way I can handle the craziness that's happening right now. But what does that look like for you?
For me, I've definitely learned to do a lot of self care and to have downtime and to actually schedule it. Because how I am, I'm very work heavy. So I'll work, 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 work. And then I'll get to the point where I'm just like, I'm tired, I'm wore out. But actually scheduling and planning and being intentional about planning my self care, planning my off days, planning my downtime. Because I didn't really do that before the
Yeah.
pandemic.
So, we're talking today how to maximize your social media page, right? How to make
Yeah,
money using your social media platform. And I know this is what you do. This is right in your element. How
yes.
important is social media when it comes to your brand?
It's extremely important. Like I used to tell people, people used to say like, "Oh, social media is the future, is the future." I'm like, "No, it's now." And
Yes.
with COVID and everything, that's bumped up the timeline even more. I threw out like a post a while back when it was first early on in the pandemic because I could see where it was going and it was going to be all digital. And I was telling anyone that would listen, if they know me, they know I'm just like, I'm gonna give you my opinion. As simple as hairstylists. I was telling them, hey guys, why don't you, have some one-on-one consultations with your clients, your current clients. That's already built-in clientele, and you can help them find out how to do their hair while they're at home, and you can still charge for that, and that'll add value. And just I was just giving tip after tip to just show people because people were really down about it, but I was trying to look at it as a way to increase your value even
Yeah.
for brick and mortar stores. There was still a way that you could still have some kind of income coming in instead of just shutting down completely.
Yes, that's some good points right there. What are some of the ways that you can utilize your social media platform to promote your brand?
So definitely making sure that the content is consistent with your branding. A lot of times we get caught up in uh, social media and being social, but we forget that our social media, if you have a brand or a business, your social media is your business. That's what people see about you. So if
Mhm.
what they see about you is not conducive to your business, then they're going to be confused as to like, okay, what are they selling? What do they do? So social media is, a big selling point, at least for me, I know it is. And for other people that I know, and help, it's a big selling point for you being a brand and having that presence and having content that's consistent with that brand.
Yeah, what are some different types of branding strategies?
So definitely, now you can do like Facebook is a little bit different. So you got to understand, each platform is different and each platform serves its own purpose. From
Right.
TikTok, LinkedIn, IG, Facebook. So you first want to know, okay, where are my customers coming from the most? That's how I start. So where are your customers coming from the most? If they're coming from Facebook the most Facebook is a lot of stories, not as in stories at the top, but stories like people will actually read a post on Facebook versus
Yeah.
I not so much. It's really picture heavy. So if your product is picture heavy, I definitely say, okay, IG, you want to make sure your bio is consistent to what you do, what you're selling, on IG, or if it's Facebook, you want to make sure every single post has something to do with your brand. That 80-20 rule that everybody kind of talks about that's in marketing is really true. You should really be selling maybe 20% of the time, and 80% of the time you're still selling, but it's indirectly. You're always kind of bringing in your brand some kind of way, and people don't really know, that what are you talking about? They don't really know that you're hooking them still,
Right.
even when you're not selling to them.
Right. That is so, so true. Should businesses invest in promotion and advertisement? Like, how important is that when it comes to building your brand?
I deal with a lot of like small business and entrepreneurs starting out. So I definitely tell them if they want to increase their exposure in a faster way, then definitely utilize Facebook ads or IG ads or even TikTok
Hmm.
ads now. But again, you have to be strategic about it. So learning how the ads work, learning your target audience, learning, okay, do I want to convert? And convert people to my website, or do I just want to do a brand awareness campaign? What type of campaign am I doing? So you're not wasting your money. Facebook, they want you to make an ad. They're really pushing sponsored ads. They want you to spend their money, but for you as a brand, you can invest. Like
Right.
invest, I think at least $1 a day. That's $30 a month. If you can't invest $30 a month in your business, then something is wrong.
Right.
So you should always have something out there that is consistent with your brand.
Absolutely. Pushing it and getting it out there so that way people
Yeah.
could see it.
Yes.
Visibility is key. Absolutely. How often should you be posting every day? Should you be posting every day, every other day? What works?
I love this question because I tell people it's, back probably maybe 2-3 years ago, you would say, okay, we'll post 2 or 3 times a day and da 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 da. But now, how the algorithm is going to be conducive to what's consistent on your page. Everybody has their own individual algorithm outside of there's an algorithm for the whole entire platform.
Mm,
So you have to learn your specific algorithm. For me personally, I know there's a top 5 things that gravitate people towards my page. There's a top 5 topic. There's either me dressed up, it draws attention for whatever reason, but I use it to my advantage. Me, my husband, and my 4-year-old, when I post a picture of them, people gravitate towards it. I know I'm very goofy and silly. I like quotes and funny things. So when I post something like that, people gravitate to it. So I know, like, and I didn't name 5, but for the sake of time,
yeah.
I didn't. I know my top 5 things that pull people in. So therefore, I know my algorithm plays towards those things. So when I go to think about my brand, I'm looking at it from a business mindset, not just I'm just posting just to be posting. No, I'm posting to try to hook you in. So I'm gonna
Right.
engage in my copy, in my text. I'm going to talk about my brand, or I'm going to pull you in to something to include my brand in those posts that I know are already going to be, seen. So that's how you kind of sneak it in
Yes.
when it comes to that. And people really should take the time to audit their own page. So look at your own page like, you're a brand new person that doesn't know anything about you. And if you have posts on there, especially Facebook, and if you're sharing posts that have nothing to do with your brand, please delete them because
Mm,
you're nobody's gonna know who you are. They're gonna know you as the person that shares everything. They're not gonna know anything about your brand or learn anything about you and who you are. And I tell people all the time, like, delete that, stop sharing stuff because you have to look at Facebook like a business, not like a social network. And I'm just gonna get on here and be social and like share all the posts.
I like that. So in addition to pushing your brand and posting your content for your brand, but you can post stuff, you know, about you, so that way it's relatable to whoever that's checking out your page. So it doesn't necessarily have to be everything business related, but you can also post some fun content, like you mentioned, posting a picture with your family, posting pictures on your dressing up. Those things are also important when trying to build your page, basically.
Yeah,
I
yeah, because
like that.
it makes you look more like, okay, you're being intentional with every single post that you're doing. And think about when someone, this happens all the time. I may make a post and I'll say, hey, does anybody know what hairstyle is or does this type of hairstyle? And people will tag, random people, and you
Yes.
click on their page and you go on the page and there's literally nothing about hair nowhere. There's nothing about how to get in contact with them. There's nothing about the website, how to book. And you're scrolling and scrolling through posts that's shared. So you don't even know if they do hair yet
Right.
because there's so many other posts that's cluttering their timeline. So stuff like that, brands, you lose money because people just go on to the next. They want to buy from you easily, and you're making
Right.
it harder, just by sharing whatever and posting whatever.
So for a brand that's just off, I know how it could be, how discouraging it could be. Starting off with like maybe 20 followers, 100 followers, or what have you, and you're posting something, it gets 5 likes, 10 likes, and you're like, oh man, because I know a lot of people ask that question, like, what should they do? But would you recommend buying followers and buying likes? Or do you feel like they should just post organically every day and build that way?
Please post organically. Buying followers and all of that, that actually hurts your algorithm. So what you think you're doing, you're really not doing. And in the long run, it's gonna hurt your business. Your page especially, because you're not gonna get their reach that you're expecting. I know one thing for me when I go on pages and I'm like, oh, they got 20,000 followers and then 2 likes on post. Like, okay, I know they bought the followers.
Right,
So
right.
it's not conducive to do that at all. My recommendation, regardless if you got 5 likes or 10, you can still DM those people, DM marketing. You can still DM them and follow up. You can still speak
Mm-hmm.
to their audience. So it's not really about the follower count. It's about, can you authentically connect with the people that are following you?
What are some questions that you can ask yourself when trying to improve branding strategy?
So some questions first you need to ask yourself is, okay, what's my target? Who am I talking to? Are
Okay.
you talking to, you know, a new business owner? Are you talking to, whatever your brand is, you need to figure out who are you talking to? Who do you want to communicate to?
Yes.
Number one. And then number two, you got to think about, okay, what type of content is conducive to my brand? So if I'm selling hair, then I definitely want to make sure I'm posting hair. I'm showing the hair. I'm showing the value of the hair. I'm showing you, hey, this is, silky straight or whatever. I don't sell hair, but you're showing the value of your brand. You don't have to bash any other brand, but you're showing your value.
Yes.
And then number three, be consistent. Regardless if you got 5 likes, 10, it doesn't matter. If you're consistent with that, it's going to come authentically. I'm a big advocate of just being your authentic, unique, silly self. Whatever that person is, those whoever is gonna gravitate to it. If you're being somebody you're not, people can see it. People can see you being real or not. Let's be real. We've been on Facebook. I'm 35. I've been on Facebook since 2005, 2006, whenever it came out. People can see when you're being real and they can see when you're not. And when
Right.
you're just being you, whether it's perfect, whether it's messy, whether it's, loud, soft, whatever, people can relate to that.
Right.
And when they connect with your brand, that's gold. That's gold to me.
What are some of the things to consider? Like, let's say, I don't know, I've been in business for 5 years and now I'm thinking of revamping my page. What are some things to kind of consider as I'm re-strategizing for yeah, this new level, this new step?
So I love this because I have a revamp package. So like I love this. So most of the time, a lot of businesses they've gotten to a certain level and they've hit a plateau. And so when the revamp comes along, they really need to overhaul probably their website, of course, social media, mainly social media. But so what needs to be done is, number one, I look at their pages. If their pages are not consistent across the board, that's a red flag for me. Whether it's LinkedIn, wherever you are, color coding, schemes. I'm really big on that once you're rebranding, because here's the thing: you have to look at, what do the big brands do? The big brands do this. They're
Right.
consistent across the board. They have a consistent color scheme across the board. If you see whatever brand on whatever platform, like, okay, that's McDonald's, that's Wendy's, that's whatever. So, and a lot of companies, they kind of built it up to a certain level. But definitely color schemes, especially updating the website matching the color scheme of your social media. I'm very picky about that as well, because it should
Yeah.
all be cohesive. Regardless of where people find your brand, it should be all cohesive. And then just updating photos, professional looking photos, not just photos,
Mm.
you took. I don't want to say at your house, because I take some bomb pictures at my house, but but just making sure that you're in your best light possible. And sometimes that takes an outside person, to do that for you, and to see you being your best self. So
Yes.
you should always be looking at your best self, because you never know, who's watching. You never know, your next $10,000 could be around the corner, and it could be just you dressed up that day and happen to take a photo.
You're right. You never know who's watching, especially because the social media, it's not just your followers watching you. Just one
Right.
hashtag can literally open up your post to the masses, and now everyone who checks that hashtag is able to see your content, basically.
Yes, yes,
Hmm.
it's a huge thing, huge thing. I'm very picky when it comes to content because that's what people see.
Yeah.
That's the first thing that people see when they look you up. A while back, people used to like search on websites, but now, honestly, social media is the new website. Websites are secondary now.
You see, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I was going to ask you, with the website, how important is the website, especially the fact that everyone goes to social media. You can go shop on social media, you get recipes
Mhm.
on social media. Everything you need is available to news, everything on social
Yeah,
media. You can even make a purchase on
yeah.
Instagram.
It's
So
on, right.
how
IG or
important
Facebook.
is it for you to have a website? Is a website a crucial thing to have for your brand?
For me, I honestly say if your social media is on point, the website can wait. Think about where you want to spend your money on. If you only
Hmm.
have, a certain amount of funds, put that money in your social media, because that's where people are going to be looking you up on, is social media first. And you can always link, like you say, to IG or Facebook, link to that, shopping link, and sell that way temporarily until you can get a website. I
Wow.
would say a website is not important. I would say it's secondary.
Mm,
I would say focus on your social media first and then do your website.
that is so key. Isn't it crazy how things have changed? Social media,
I know. It's like,
technology.
yeah.
Because
Yeah.
websites was it was like how you have a business and not have a
It,
website.
yes. And I was just like, what, 5 years? I mean, it hadn't been that long ago.
Right.
But I always tell people social media is like the new yellow pages.
Yep.
How we used to yellow pages and look through. That's social media now. That's Facebook. The first thing I do when I see a new restaurant, oh, do they have a Facebook? Let me look it up.
Mm-hmm. That social nowadays it's like if you have a brand and you don't have a social media page, it's like what are you doing?
It's like, what are you doing with your life?
Go start that page, get it popping.
Right,
I
right.
love that. So as a branding strategist, how do you keep track of what's like trending in the market?
So, I literally on my account, like, okay, so Twitter is cool because Twitter, like things that are trending, hit Twitter first, like literally a lot of the times first. And then eventually Facebook will get it and IG will get it. Now TikTok is competing with Twitter because TikTok's trending, they're really, really up to date too.
Yes.
But if something is trending on Twitter and TikTok, you can rest assured it's coming over to Facebook and IG. So if you can get on it like quickly, you can make something on Facebook or make something on IG and kind of be a little bit ahead of the curve. But that's one avenue that I use. I'm always taking account to what people are talking about as well when I'm on Facebook and I see my homepage because I know the algorithm is kind of going to show me what's popular or what the algorithm thinks is popular based on what people are talking about and posting about. So I take note of, if I start seeing 3, 4, 5, 6 posts about like the same topic, then I immediately may go Google it or go on Twitter and see what people are talking about
Right.
that way. But that's mostly how I just keep up with what's trending. Um, I do trendy stuff a little bit as far as my content, but probably about 20% of my content, 25% is like something that's trending, just so I can get that algorithm like favoring my way, so I
Yeah.
can flip it and talk about business something.
I love that. What advice would you give to someone who needs help when it comes to branding strategy?
What advice would I give them? I would just it would really just go back to them thinking about what their business is about, thinking about what their goal is for the business, what is the overall mission of their business, and then from there, um, posting content and sharing content that's related to that because it's always going to be a driver back to your business. It
Yeah.
should be anyway. So if you stick to that, um, and be consistent with it, you really can't go too much wrong. The problem is, which my opinion, the problem is a lot of times people do not schedule their time on social media. They're just kind of haphazardly posting, they're haphazardly creating content. And I'm really big also on making intentional time to build your content or create your content. So, like for me, like Sundays, I take 2 hours in the afternoon and I plan. Okay, what in my business? What do I have going on in the next couple of weeks? What I want to post about? Do I have a sale coming up? Whatever. So I plan my content ahead of time that way, at least two
Hmm.
weeks ahead of time. So I know instinctively what I want to talk about. So therefore, you know what you want to lead your customers to, and you're kind of creating a tie-in story all along. They don't really know, but they can kind of see, like, oh yeah, you've been talking about that last week. Oh, it's a sale. Oh, let me hop on that. So it's more conversational all along versus like sales. But that's a big thing for me is
Yeah.
scheduling your content.
So you recommend creating a social media calendar, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so important. Yeah, I like that. I like that. Because sometimes you're posting something and you don't have you can't think of a caption, or and it's
It's
just like you
hard.
need to
Yeah.
post it. So now you're waiting, and now you're just not in the moment. You don't feel like posting, and if you plan ahead of time, you're able to
Mm-hmm.
just publish it
And
and go on
it's
about
just
your business.
right. It's just so much easier. Even those days where, you don't feel like it. I still have those days where I'm like, I'm over this business today. I just don't feel like it. But hey, I've already planned my post. So guess what? I don't have to think about it. It's just, post away. And, I can still grow my brand or feel like I'm being productive, even when I'm not necessarily you don't feel like it that day. Because let's be real, entrepreneurs, you don't feel like it every day. You don't get
No,
up every day
it's
like, okay, I'm gonna,
it's
you know,
right. It's literally a roller coaster of emotions. One day you're
it's
feeling great,
this.
feeling motivated. Today you're like, yo, I'm over this. I'm
Yes, yes,
tired. That is so so true. Kelly, I would like for you to pour into some of our viewers who are watching right now who might feel discouraged, in terms of like building, because I know that's the hard part. You might have this amazing idea. I know some of my friends too, like they have amazing ideas, but when it comes to the social media aspect, that's what's holding them back. Being afraid to kind of like put themselves out there, because it requires, before we had to focus on the brand, right? But now, we have to focus on the social media aspect, and that's another thing in itself,
yeah.
So yeah, some words of encouragement to kind of get them to say, you know what, I can do this. Let me go for it.
Well, you gotta think back to like, what do you really want in life? What do you want to do? Do you want to stay where you are? Or do you want to move forward and create a legacy and have a sense of freedom, for yourself? For me, I looked at it like, okay, I want better for my family. I want better for me. I want to live a life that I don't want to go, to my grave and think shoulda, woulda, coulda, or I wish I would have done this, or I wish I would have done that. I want to say, no, I tried this. I tried that. I tried that. And if social media is just that one catalyst that's preventing you from going all in, you gotta go for it. Because
Yeah.
number one, we don't have any time to waste. That's one thing with COVID I learned, especially there's no time to waste. We never know if tomorrow's gonna be that day or 10 years from now, whatever day. Just do it. Just go for it. Because the worst that could happen is you succeeding. That's
Yes.
literally the worst that could happen. The worst. So if you're on the fence and trying to think of, I'm shy about social media, be shy and have that fear and do it anyway. Because on the other side of that fear is success. I guarantee you.
Amen. And I've been seeing on social media a lot of businesses are thriving right now in this moment. So I know it's some crazy times right now, but a lot of people are using this time and investing it into their business, their brand, their baby, because we're
Yes.
seeing a lot of businesses, big businesses going out of business.
Yes.
So a lot of people are unemployed. So it's like, okay, now I really got to go hard,
Mhm.
and now is the time. Like now is the time. I know some people might be like, could it be? Are people shopping? Believe
No.
it or not, people are shopping right now. It's crazy. It's so crazy to me. So crazy.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. I love
It's,
it. Well, Callie, thank you so much. Thank you so, so
thank
much.
you.
And I would like for you to kind of, also give advice for someone who would like to be in your field, who would like to be doing what it is that you do. How can they get started?
Honestly, okay, so let me go back. So I'm literally self-taught of social media. So I didn't go to school for it. I am now going to school for it because I just want that, that extra that hey, I got a digital
Hmm.
marketing, certificate. But
Yes.
I'm literally self-taught. And you can do this. There's so many resources online for free. Number one, YouTube. but YouTube can be confusing. So Facebook business has information. You can get a Facebook certified. You can get Google Ads certified. Now, there's so much out there. Honestly, you can just
Yes.
do a quick Google search to find out what you need to do to become a social media manager or marketer. There's so many resources out there. There's literally no excuse. Just do it.
Do the work.
Just do the
That's
work.
it. It's right at your fingertips. Just do the work, do some research.
Yeah.
Callie, how can the viewers follow you? Where can they find some more information about you? Share all that with us.
Okay. So my talking about website. My
Yes.
website is socialpalcal.com. However, you can follow me either on Facebook, Callie Combs, or on IG, Callie Combs. And then I also have my business name, Social Pal Cal, on Facebook as well as IG as well. So you can follow me on either one of those four, and I will see it. And yes, it's me. So I know a lot of
Yes.
people don't really manage their own accounts, but I do. So
Yes. You run your own page. You your own boss. You doing the
yes,
damn thing. Callie,
yes.
kudos to you. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
this
so much for
fire
having me.
chat.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.